Vigits, yo, what's up guys? What is going on? Welcome back. Hope y'all are doing well. Transfer talk. So I did say that I wasn't really keen on the idea of talking about transfer deals, but there's some of these deals, some of these talks that have been going on that kind of caught my attention, and I just wanted to give my take on them. I'd share my thoughts on the deals. You know, it's a lot of it is just wishful thinking. A lot of this is just hopeful, you know, wishful thinking that, you know, that it might happen, that it could happen, and it doesn't happen. You've heard it many times where they're talking in length, everything seems like it's in order, and they're about to sign, or they already signed, and all of a sudden they do a 180 and they go somewhere else, you know. And it's not that it infuriates me, it doesn't piss me off or anything, but it's just, okay, what was the point of that? You know. But there, like I said, there are some that are pretty interesting. The first one being Nico Williams going to Barcelona, obviously. But I also heard, again, speculations that Arsenal were keen on signing him. I would absolutely love that to happen. That would be just I guess him donning the jersey and just him playing the EPL. I think that's a step up. That would further confirm for me that he's set for the big stage. Because the EPL and adapting and playing in the EPL isn't the easiest thing. I think everybody knows that, and not everyone can find success, you know, in the English Premier League. So I would really like to see him in the EPL mostly. It doesn't have to be Arsenal. So then I heard afterwards, and this was today, this was a couple of hours ago, I heard that Aston Villa were keen on signing him. Now that is never gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. He's not. I could just see the expression on his face if they asked him like, "Oh, Aston Villa's interested in you." He's like no words. I don't blame him. Like no words. Like why would I want to go to Aston Villa? Even though I think Aston Villa would be a perfect fit for him if he's gonna join the EPL. Not even Arsenal. Arsenal would just be something, you know, aesthetic, you know, to see him wear that jersey. But Aston Villa all the way. They just, you know, I think they're playing Champions League. The team is building up pretty nicely. And from the games that I was able to catch with Aston Villa, anytime they played against other top club teams, they seem like the team that would benefit a lot from Nico Williams' service, Nico Williams' playing style, and vice versa. I think it would be a very symbiotic exchange from both teams. I think they could both feed off of each other. Is it going to happen? I don't think it's going to happen, but it'd be so cool if that actually happened, going to Aston Villa. At first I thought like first of all, that's not going to happen, and why would they even care? Why would he even, like, there's no reason. But the more I think about it, Barcelona, I think he could probably thrive in Barcelona at the beginning because it's still in Spain. I'm sure he has some appreciation, love. He probably grew up watching like everybody else, the Messi era and all that. So maybe perhaps he would be able to thrive in that team. And the only reason I would personally like to see him at Barcelona is just because it would kind of, you know, even up that whole Barca Real Madrid thing going on. And I would very much look forward to the Clásico matches, of course. So that's one transfer that is pretty interesting. When I read that, I thought it was pretty interesting. And I think he's definitely going to Barcelona, even though Barcelona are struggling financially. But it would be really nice to see him in the EPL, no matter what team, really. And I think Aston Villa is just perfect. It's a perfect setup for him. But yeah, the other one, of course, you heard it, and I've talked about this before, Xavi Simons or Simons. And somebody corrected me at work, said it's Simmons, going to Bayern Munich. But then today, this morning, I read that Manchester United's interested in him, and the fact that they have, I didn't know the assistant coach is going to be none other than Ruud van Nistelrooy, which I thought at the time, you know, was a bogus striker. It's only after the fact when he retired that I fully appreciated the legend that he is, the so clinical and so precise of a striker that he was back in the day. That would definitely help out, you know, for Simmons, Xavi Simons, to be able to go over to Manchester United. I think he coached them at PSV, so there's that. There's a strong tie there. So I rather, yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't think he's ready, especially for Manchester United. That is way too much pressure for this kid. That I think he does have the character, but he doesn't have the talent. Let's put it that way. And this is one of those cases where hard work is not going to trump talent. He needs to have some talent as well, followed by hard work. And he doesn't have that. I don't think he has the talent for that. To me, it's well established that he doesn't have that top quality. Again, people are going to argue, what about the goals? What about him being a starter? Well, that just has to do with the fact that the coach actually prefers him over somebody else. Yeah, that's his preference. And right now there is nobody else. There's nobody else filling in that spot. You know, and again, I keep going back to the CV. He's playing based on his CV, his curriculum that he once played at Barcelona. I think that's all it is. But he lacked the talent. Yeah, he has character. Yeah, he defends, so he'd be probably a good fit for United or Bayern Munich in that sense. You know, returning, coming back. He's still young. You know, he has the legs for that. But talent-wise, Bayern Munich, you guys are going to be very disappointed. I think you guys are going to be very disappointed. I think it's just going to be another flop signing. I've said that many times, and I just want it to happen already. I just want it to happen. It's going to be a James Rodriguez. It's going to be a Coutinho. It's going to be a, what's his name from Morocco? I forgot his name. I'm sorry. It's going to be one of those, though. The one that played at Fiorentina, had a great World Cup, went to United, and just some of these games he looked completely lost. It's going to be something along those lines for Xavi Simons. And then speaking of Aston Villa, Amadou Onana, who was an Everton player, signed for Aston Villa. You know, this guy, I feel that he went under the radar for me. I've seen him play many times for Everton last season, and I did always find him instrumental when it came to Everton, but I didn't really, you know, I wasn't really fixating on him. I wasn't really keeping my eye on him. But this summer, when I saw him against Belgium, the couple of games that I think I saw him play, and maybe I saw 2 or 3 Belgian games, I saw a different Onana. And you know, some of these players, like I said, they play better in club. Sometimes they play better in national team. He really shined in that national team. And I can't believe he's only 22. I thought he was a lot older than that. I thought he was in his 30s, to be quite honest. He just, I don't know, facial features. But no, he's 22. He's super young. And I think that's a great signing for Aston Villa. It's strange when I saw it happen this morning as well. I don't know why. I was really happy. I was really happy for some reason, as if, again, like I was following him. I did always notice him, but a part of me is saying that I didn't really appreciate him. I wasn't really paying attention to him. I always saw him as a commander when he was playing in Everton. And when I saw him, what he did for Belgium, absolutely. He controlled that center mid. He absolutely controlled that center mid, and just his personality. He's the type of player I think that plays a lot with his personality. Yes, he has the time, but it's a lot to do with his personality, and that's great. That's great for him to go to Aston Villa. I just wonder that no other big team got to sign him, like Bayern Munich. I wouldn't be surprised seeing him in Bayern Munich, just like Bayern Munich wanted Paulinho. I don't know if that's happening, or maybe because they're getting Paulinho, they don't need Amadou Onana. But Manchester United should have snatched him up. He definitely should have been snatched up. So that's a really good signing. De Ligt also being in talks with Manchester United. I don't know if De Ligt is injured at the moment. We didn't see him at the. He probably is. We didn't see him at the Euros. That's another one that, as long as he doesn't get injured, I think he would be a good inclusion for Manchester United. And then finally, there's Ugarte. That's at PSG, that hasn't really played all that much. And there was so much talk about him last season when Lisbon was in talks with Chelsea. He was one of those that was a done deal for Chelsea. I was kind of more or less following that because I was watching a Chelsea channel, and every day it was the same thing. There's talks. They're just about to put pen to paper, and you know, there's the fee, there's the cost, everything's pretty much set. And then what happens? PSG just come in and they just swoop him and take him away to Paris. And it was kind of funny. I don't mean to be a dick about it, but it was funny to see the 2 people that I was watching that they kept on talking. They were so excited. They were touting this guy to be like the biggest thing, right? Like they absolutely were going to fill in the N'Golo Kante post, and he was going to do amazing things. A few times that I saw him play at PSG, I thought he did okay. But what I mostly heard of was that he wasn't fulfilling his potential, and he was just underperforming. And I think he wasn't too happy at PSG. Manchester United seemed like they're interested. I think that's another great option for them, just because Uruguayans, Argentinians, I think, do well despite the so-called Manchester United curse, or just the tough times that Manchester United's been having, and that it's so hard to acclimate and do well once you're in this team. I think he's one of those players in that position that would thrive. I think he would thrive. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the transfer talks. Just want to go over the ones that I thought were kind of interesting to look at. Obviously, this is going to change by tomorrow. By the end of the night, it's going to be a completely different thing, and I'll try to keep an eye on it to see if anything changes. Anyways, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.